Barcelona hiring Hansi Flick didn't feel like the usual Barca move. I mean, there was no La Masia connection, no Barca DNA background, not even someone who spoke the language on or off the pitch. It was different. And to be honest, when the news dropped, a lot of people didn't know how to react. Some were hopeful, others weren't convinced. But now, here we are. End of the season, on course to win the Champions League, in the race for La Liga, in the Copa del Rey final, and somehow this team that looked lost just a few months ago is now fighting for a treble. It's not just about good form. There's something about this team that feels sharper, more balanced, more serious. Hansi Flick didn't just fix a few problems. He's changed how the squad operates, and the crazy part is, it's working. So, how did we get here? In this video, we will discuss that how Hansi Flick is completely transformed FC Barcelona into a beast of a team. So, let's start with what Hansi Flick walked into. You have to look at where this team was before Hansi Flick came in. Under Xavi, they won La Liga, but even then, there were doubts. The football wasn't convincing for long stretches. Europe was still a mess. And by the end of his time, it felt like the team was just going through the motions. No real rhythm, no consistent identity, nothing. Players looked unsure of their roles. One game, they pressed high, the next, they sat deep. Injuries didn't help either. But the bigger issue was that the squad never looked settled. There was possession, yeah, but not a lot of purpose behind that possession. So when Flick arrived, he didn't come in with a big personality or flashy promises. He just got to work. And that's where the shift started, with structure and clarity. And once the system started making sense, the style of play changed too. One of the biggest changes under Hansi Flick is that Barca play with more intent now. There is still possession, but it's cleaner and quicker. The ball moves with a purpose, and the team isn't afraid to go forward earlier in the build-up play. He has brought in more direct patterns. The fullbacks aren't just hugging the touchline anymore, they're inverting when needed. The wingers stretch the play, but the midfield is way more involved in pushing the tempo. You can absolutely see the difference when they are not dominating the ball as well. They know how to step up the press, when to drop back, and how to manage games. It's not overly complicated. Flick hasn't tried to reinvent anything. He's just made the game plan more clear. And when players know exactly what's expected of them, the results follow. And that brings us to players themselves, because system is only as good as the players running it. A huge part of Flick's success is how he's used his squad. He's got his players performing at levels we haven't seen in a while. For example, Frankie de Jong looks way more comfortable now. He's not stuck in between positions anymore. He's either breaking lines or winning the ball back depending on what the game needs. Pedri under Hansi Flick looks fitter, looks more confident and less burdened. Ferran Torres and Rafinha have both stepped up massively. They were players who a lot of fans had doubts about, but under Hansi Flick, they are delivering. Rafinha especially. His decision making has improved and he is contributing consistently and might go on to win the Ballon d'Or as well this season. And then there is young talent like Lamine Yamal and Fermin Lopez, who haven't just been used, they've been trusted. Flick didn't throw them into meaningless minutes. He put them in big games and they've responded. That kind of faith from a manager makes a huge difference for a young talent like them. But it's not only about the individuals. The overall mindset of the whole team has shifted too. See, under Flick, Barca don't drop their heads when they concede. They stay compact, they stay in the game and they go again. There is more fight in the team now. You see players tracking back, pressing together and communicating on the pitch. They're not perfect, but they're a proper team again. One that looks like it knows how to handle different type of matches in different conditions. You also see it in the big games. They're not scared of anyone now. Whether it's Champions League knockouts or El Clasicos, they play like they believe they belong here. That's something we haven't seen for a while in Barcelona. And a lot of that comes from Flick's willingness to adapt tactically and emotionally to what each match demands of the team. See, Flick hasn't locked the team into one rigid system. Depending on the opponent, he's shown flexibility. Sometimes it's a 4-3-3, other times it's a 4-2-3-1. The key is the player aren't confused. They know how to adapt without losing control. Even mid-game adjustments have been sharp. He's not afraid to change the tempo, make early subs or tweak roles. And it's refreshing because there is balance now. They can dominate possession when needed or play on the break when the game calls for it. Now, this kind of flexibility is what makes them dangerous. And it's why, for the first time in years, people are seriously talking about something that once seemed impossible. Yeah, so we should talk about it as well. The treble. At the start of the season, this didn't even feel like a realistic conversation. But now, Barca are still alive in all three competitions and not just hanging on. They're in with a real shot. Champions League semi-finals, Copa del Rey finals, still fighting in La Liga with 4 points lead, and most importantly, they're handling pressure. These games aren't just fluke, they're controlled professional performances, the kind you need when trophies are on the line. The thing is that we've seen Barca sides in the past collapse under pressure, but this one feels different because this team, they grind hard. They manage moments, and most importantly, they don't panic. And Flick deserves credit for building that mentality in this team in such a short time. Now, have you thought that what makes all of this work? Well, it's that Flick didn't show up trying to be someone he's not. He didn't copy the past or chase old ideas. He came in, respected the club's value, and added what he knew would work in today's game: clarity, discipline, and flexibility. And the players, they've bought in. You don't get this kind of run at the end of the season without everyone pulling in the same direction. Barcelona haven't just found form, they found identity which was long lost. One that's built for now, not just nostalgia. See, it's been a long season, but one thing is clear. Hansi Flick was the right call. Whether they lift one trophy or all three of them, this team is finally moving forward again. And the best part, it doesn't feel like a short-term fix. It feels like something that's just getting started. What do you think of Flick's impact on Barcelona? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to stay up to date with everything related to Barca, be sure to like this video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.